Hello, and welcome to the Cool Careers Podcast. This is our very first podcast, and I'm excited to introduce an amazing person to you all today. Her trailblazing career starts in education and leads her to be an attorney, then presiding as a Harris County judge, and now to serving in a more political arena as she's currently running for Harris County Commissioner in Precinct 1. We will welcome Ms. MariaT.Jackson. Thank you, Miss MariaT.Jackson. Welcome.
Yay.
Thanks for coming.
May I hug you?
Yes!
Thank you.
You have no idea. You have no idea how excited and honored I am for you to do this. This is our first, I will make sure that you're our first Cool Careers interview and podcast. So not only am I interviewing you and chatting with you today, but this kind of gives everyone a kind of a feel of what the show will be about, right? So I always want to start off with a bit of a networking and how important that is and having connections with people. And we were neighbors over 10 years ago.
Ooh, I think it was longer than that.
And yeah, 15 years ago we were neighbors. And then there was about a 10-year disconnect where we didn't even see each other. Yes. I lived out of the country.
I know.
And as soon as I returned, you're like plastered on TV all over the place. I'm like, I know her. We reconnected on Instagram.
Yes.
And here we are.
Yes.
Bam. So tell us a little bit, before we get started on education and career and all that kind of good stuff, tell us about how important connections are to one's career. What are your thoughts about this?
Connections are so important. Where I am it's based on connections.
Yeah.
You and I met in our own apartment
Yes.
over 15 years ago
Yes.
at breakfast. We
Yeah.
just started smiling at each other. And I really believe that good people attract good people.
This is true.
And I always believe to be kind to everyone. It doesn't matter what anyone does, but treat everybody with respect and kindness. We're all God's kids.
And I honestly believe that is at your core because
Yes.
before I knew you were a judge at the time, you were just a nice lady that lived in the building. You had a few parties. You invited me over. We went to a Rockets game.
We had
with
fun,
some friends.
didn't we?
So, I mean, and there were no airs, and I really think that is a genuine part of your spirit. So, yeah, so appreciate that. So kind of, we get started on your career as an undergraduate student. You have to take you all the way back to the beginning.
I remember that far back.
When you were an undergrad student at UTA, like, what were your career aspirations at that time? What did you think you were going to be doing?
When I graduated from high school, I thought I was going to be a doctor. And I used to tell my mother when I was 9 years old, I said, I'm going to be a doctor and a lawyer in the daytime and a singer at night.
Do you sing?
A little bit of jazz.
Okay.
A little bit of jazz.
Awesome. Look at you. Talent. Just talent.
And I think biology was not my friend.
Okay.
And I said, but I've always had it in my heart to be an attorney. So I decided, okay, quit playing games with pre-med classes now. It's not working out. And I received my degree in political science.
Okay.
And a minor in communications.
So the goal was always to go to law school.
Yes.
Right.
Since
okay.
I was a little girl.
Okay. All right. So did you continue from undergrad straight to law school, or did you work a bit?
No. After I graduated from college, we had a school here in Sunnyside. We're in Sunnyside right now at the Prevost Center.
Yeah.
But we started a school right across the street from Jesse H. Jones High School. And when kids were kicked out for, they called them bad kids, we took them in, we showed them love, and we educated them, and I personally placed them on jobs. So today we have a lot of citizens, a lot of productive citizens in the community that are products from our school that are now doctors, nurses, coaches.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yes.
So you did this before you even went to grad school or law school?
Right. Right after I graduated from college. This was in my 20s.
I see. Okay. And how was grad school? I mean, law school. I keep saying grad school.
Well, it is grad
it is
school.
grad school. Yeah. So how was it? Were you always a really good student? Tell us about, because some people find this kind of a daunting thing to do. So tell us a little bit about your experience.
Anything worth having is going to be hard. It does not matter. It's what it is how bad do you want it? And law school is not a piece of cake, but that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I know that sometimes I would look at somebody and say, now this person is an attorney. I know I can do it. So sometimes people didn't even know they were my inspiration to keep going.
Okay,
And
I like that.
Yes. So,
I like that. You find people to watch.
Yes.
And,
yes, I would find inspiration in everything. God first. God is in my soul, my heart, and that's who I live every day to please. And it's that's who I am. That's to the core.
Okay, all right. Now tell us a bit about being an attorney. Now I know there's a small window of that before you go and you have a big role as being a judge, but did you enjoy being an attorney after passing the bar and all that kind of good stuff with, all the hard part?
Yes, I did. After I graduated from law school, Texas A&M University School of Law, I became a municipal bond attorney.
Okay.
And I worked on multi-million-dollar bond transactions, financial transactions, and including 2 multi-million-dollar bond transactions here in Harris County, both airports, which are located here in Precinct 1.
Okay, all right. And what are the bonds for? You're speaking of bond, like financial, like
yes, financial
awards.
funding.
Okay, all right.
For that's how you build the airports and schools, HISD. That's how you build schools, from the financial bond transactions.
And was this a natural thing, or did you know you wanted to do this?
No, I just kind of fell into this.
That networking we were talking about?
Yes, it was networking. And I was actually running an attorney's office in Fort Worth.
Okay.
And the next thing I knew, I was running her office. She was diagnosed with cancer, and she's a success story now. Her cancer is in remission, and it's been in remission, and I would like to say it's gone.
Okay.
And here it is, maybe 20 years later.
Okay.
She's still doing great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
All right.
So that's how I ended up running her office and working as a municipal bond attorney. But I had a lot of experience. I gained a lot of experience, and I met a lot of people.
Okay.
And as you said, networking.
Right.
That's how I found out about the opening as a municipal court judge, a parking judge, in fact.
Okay.
And
which is an appointment, right? So that's a big honor. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes. One of the municipal bond attorneys, he and I became really good friends, and I said, I want to move back to Houston. I said, do you know anybody? And he said, there's an opening for a parking judge, and he said, and you're qualified. So he said, all you have to do is know the mayor. It's like, oh, that easy, huh? And what happened, my cousin was Commissioner L. Franco Lee. That's networking. That's
gotta love
That's
family.
favor. That's favor. Favor ain't fair. But he wrote a letter of recommendation, Ms. Chase and Judge Andrew Jefferson.
Okay.
And they were all mentors in my life.
Wow.
And so I was appointed within 2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about that mentorship a little bit later. So tell us about all the different roles as a judge. I know there's a few. I did a little research, but I don't want to tell everyone. I want you to tell us.
Well, working under Mayor Brown as a parking judge. It was very fulfilling. I treated everybody the same. If it was a billionaire or if someone was economically disadvantaged, everybody had a level playing field with me. And I helped everybody. And then I was promoted when Mayor White, I was promoted to a full-time municipal court judge. And then I was the first judge to be featured in the mayor's spotlight.
Wow.
Because so many citizens wrote in about how fair I was, how fair and compassionate I was. And then in 2007, the Democrat Party asked me would I run for State District Judge. And I said, sure. And
that means campaign. This is a
yes,
whole contest.
It was not appointed. So I actually ran and I won. And that was hard work too.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, campaigning, because what some people don't realize about me is that, you know, I had this shyness in me. And so I have to, that's something else about achieving a goal. You have to overcome the things that, you know, hold you back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my shyness, for example. It's like, go over there and shake that lady's hand over there and introduce yourself. What?
I don't know her. She might not want to be touched.
Yes. And so it was really out of my element, and it's taken me years and years of breaking that barrier.
Well, you're doing a great job, because I wouldn't have ever thought that. All right.
Well, now, you know, I love people. But just go out and, you know, just introduce myself to total strangers, it was pretty hard, but I overcame it.
Okay. And then how long were you in this seat as a judge?
I won 339th Criminal District Court, and I was the longest serving felony court judge until September 30th. I was also the administrative judge over all the felony courts, and I just received a raise too.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Now this is I don't want you to just like glaze over that. This is a big deal. Tell us about this job as an administrative judge. That means you're kind of in charge of all the other judges, right?
Yes.
So how do you get this type of role?
I was elected by my peers, my colleagues.
Your peers?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was elected by Harris County to serve as the felony court judge.
Okay.
And I've served 3 terms. Each term is 4 years.
Okay.
And I was the first African American to be recognized and voted Houston Press Best Criminal Court Judge. I've had several capital murder cases featured on First 48 Hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And
do they get scary?
Do they get... No. I was never afraid.
Okay.
I've also rehabilitated and saved thousands of lives.
Wow.
Yes. And one of my famous stories is a young man that was in front of me, and he had been in and out of jail, state jail felon, nonviolent offender. And this particular case, he landed in front of me. And I looked at him and I said, "Are you ready to change your life?" And he was surprised because nobody had given him a chance before. And he looked at me and he said, "You will not regret this, and this will not be the last time you see me." And so let's fast forward 10 years. It's been over 10 years now. And this young man is a bodybuilder. He actually won the title, Mr. USA Bodybuilding Champion. And yes.
Wow.
And so...
I know someone might be interested in him.
Yeah.
I'm just embarrassing her. She's not in front of the camera.
She's gonna get you.
Right. That's awesome. So I'm sure that's a big rewarding part of having that position.
That was the best part of being a criminal court judge in my role, being able to use wisdom and discernment and my authority and taking chances on people, giving them second and third and fourth chances sometimes. And the other most rewarding part about being a judge is I got to perform marriages.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
Yes, bringing people together for eternity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. How many people did you marry?
Ooh,
A lot?
a lot.
Did people just randomly come to the office and say, can you marry this person? Did that actually happen
They
like on
would
TV?
actually call, and so I did marry a lot of strangers, and it was always a happy occasion.
Yeah.
And then I married some friends
That's awesome.
and some relatives. Yes.
Perks.
Yes.
I want to selfishly ask you some questions just about, you being a professional woman, a mother, a wife. You have this big job of yours, this new role that you're stepping into. How you make it look a little easy, and I know we've already talked about things that are hard, things that are difficult. How do you handle it all? Give us other ladies who are trying to live their best lives. How do you manage it all?
One of the things I love what I do is a purpose. I love people. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love me.
That's most important.
And sometimes when things get to be overwhelming, I take time out and make sure that I take care of me, because that's one of the things we as women don't do. Mm-hmm. We put everybody else first.
Yeah.
And I'm in touch with myself, so when I realize that, I might want to say something to somebody, some words that I shouldn't say, I get quiet, and I go in a quiet place, and I'm a praying woman. And
wow.
Yes,
I
do know that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And so I'll sit back, I'll read scriptures, and actually walk the walk and remember and say, okay, take some deep breaths. But I enjoy life too. And so that means having fun as well. Mm-hmm. If I want to go out with a friend, hang out with my mom, my husband, or the kids, laughter is so important, and not taking everything so seriously. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times friends can help. You helped me today. You helped me today. I was having a challenging day today. And
it's the little things in life.
And it was so funny. You were not receiving anything I was trying to do that was opposite to what we were supposed to do today.
Yeah, keeping you on your path. See, that's
yes.
Call me anytime.
Yes.
That's free service. Now, one of my missions is, to the audience of Cool Careers is networking and also mentorship. Tell us how mentorship has impacted you. I know you've done some mentorship. What kind of advice do you have for those who are seeking mentorship? And what do you think what they should be receiving out of mentorship?
I never really had anybody that I went up to and said, hey, will you be my mentor? I just watched people.
Okay.
My grandmother was a big influence in my life. She was my mentor. My mother and my dad, they were my mentors without me even asking. And and then when I became a professional, I always mentored high school students, elementary kids, law students, young lawyers, judges, and I was the mentor to the Black Girl Magic judges.
Yes.
I'm in front of that picture.
Yes. That picture's on my refrigerator.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I love mentoring. Several people would ask me. They would come and ask me advice, and I love that.
Okay.
But I didn't, and I wish I had of. But what I do is, as a mentor, I give to people things that wasn't given to me. What I wish I would have had. I wish in my career I would have had somebody to say, hey, you know what? You're a new judge. Let me help you. Let me take you under my wing and show you some things. And nobody did that for me.
Okay.
And so one of the things that's my goal and what I do things I guess, what's that movie? It was Pay It Forward. I pay it forward, but I am the person that I wish I would have had. Does that make sense?
No, it makes complete sense. And hopefully people are listening and they will be more inspired to go out and say, you know what, can you mentor me?
Yes.
That's what I really want people to do.
Yes.
Well, this has been so amazing. You are amazing. Good luck on March 3rd.
Yes.
And with the big primary, and I'm sure you're going to do great. And you're already an amazing person, and I'm sure you're going to be great at your next job. All right. Thank you for being a part of Cool Careers. I really appreciate you. We're going to say goodbye to Cool Careers audience.
MariaT.Jackson.
MariaT.Jackson.
Vote now. Primary voting, early voting, February 18th to February 28th. March 3rd is the election, March 3rd, 2020, and that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Shay.